Dan here. Thank you so much for watching my last video. I really appreciate it. I honestly thought I would get like 3 views in a month, so like 50 in 3 days for me that's pretty insane. So thank you. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe at the bottom of my video here if you want to see any more content that I release or anything. That's the easiest way to do it. You can also, I believe it's with mobile and with the website. If you go underneath where it says subscribe, there's a little bell symbol, and if you click on that or tap it, that will give you a notification every time I release new content, like a video or a live stream or anything like that. You'll get an email, you'll get a notification on your phone, because sometimes YouTube is stupid and they will forget to let you know. And I don't know why, because the internet's not perfect and it never was and it never will be. So anyway, today I'm going to be talking about my favorite 3DS games. This is my 3DS right here. It's the new 3DS. And by that I mean it's legitimately the new 3DS. Like, that's the actual name of it. So if you were like, oh wow, that 3DS is really cool, and you went to EB Games and you tried to buy it, you literally have to tell them you want a new 3DS. They will know what you're talking about. Nintendo must be in relationships with YouTube, because they're also very bad at letting people know what's going on. So anyway, I'm going to start with the big boxed games first, just because I like big box games and they make me happy whenever I look at them. So the first one that I have here, and you're probably going to notice a pattern whenever I show you all of these, but whatever, who cares, is 7th Dragon 3 Code VFD. It rhymes, it sounds stupid, and it's amazing. What it is a turn-based RPG. It's made by Sega, which is even more surprising because it doesn't look like a Sega game. And to the people that play Atlas games, you understand what I mean. It's really cool. It's very like old school. You can like make your character. It's very much like Etrian Odyssey. I should say it like that. Where Etrian Odyssey, you can make your own characters. You can change what their hair looks like, what their outfit looks like. There was like a bajillion different job classes. It didn't really matter which one you picked. It didn't change the story at all, which was great. So if you preferred playing like one type of job class compared to the other, there wasn't any change in the story or anything, which is awesome. And there's like a bunch of different difficulty settings you can have. You can have it like super easy. You can have it like insanely difficult. I find even easy is difficult because I have a lot of games doesn't mean I'm good at any of them. But yeah, if you can ever find that, it's usually kind of expensive, unfortunately. Although, to be fair, it did come with a really cool 28-page art book. So you can see one of the pages right there. And that was really cool. It didn't cost me any extra to get it too, so I was like, oh, that was kind of neat. But yeah, I really liked it. It's super fun. I should play more of it. I've been just swimming in games lately. But yeah, if you can ever find that and you just want like an old school RPG, like you don't need all the bells and whistles of the new ones or whatever, you just want to play like a really cool, hard old styled one, not an old one, just came out like this year, I believe. This is definitely a really good one to start off with or to play or whatever on your 3DS. It doesn't have 3D capability, so if you were looking for a game that had that, it doesn't have it, unfortunately. As I said before, a lot of games don't have 3D on them anymore, which is not entirely surprising. Nobody really liked it in the beginning anyway. A lot of people were like, wow, that's so cool. I wish everything was in 3D, even though everything is in 3D. You go to movies and it's 3D. You can get a TV that shows 3D. Yeah, I'm getting 3D'd out. Anyway, the next big box one I have, and I was so mind blown that I got this for $7, is the big box version of Shin Megami Tensei 4 for the 3DS as well. It comes with a guidebook / art book that's like a size of a light novel, and it came with I think it was a CD and posters as well. Hang on. Oh yeah, CD and no, okay, that was it. Yeah, it was the art book, and then it has like a mini walkthrough for the first like 10 or 15 hours. Some commentary from the creators and a soundtrack, and the soundtrack's amazing, so that works out quite nicely. So this game is, again, it's a turn-based RPG, but it's essentially like an M-rated Pokemon. Like, if you've ever wanted to play Pokemon and you wish it was rated M, it's literally this game. It's not much different. You collect, well, they call them demons, but in Japan, demon can correlate to anything from like a pixie to, I don't know, a pixie to a leprechaun to Lucifer, anything like that. So if you're like demons, that sounds scary. It's pretty much like anything that was like a mythological creature in any like mythos of any kind of culture. So like Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, all that stuff. They kind of just went from all of them and brought a bunch of things together, and you can use them to fight other monsters. And it's a really cool game. It has a really interesting story. I wouldn't recommend playing it if you are a very, how would I even put it? If you're a very religious person, in a sense that you don't believe that you should be seeing any of these things, or even like playing any of these types of games that are like violent or have stories that have to do with different religions or demons and stuff like that, then yeah, you're probably not going to like it. But I'm always really interested in other religions or any religion whatsoever. I'm always kind of curious just to learn about them and be like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And this game explains and describes in very grand detail all of the demons that you find in the game. Like they'll have little descriptions being like, oh, this is from like this kind of mythology, and like this is from this like type of religion and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool, and they explain everything really well, and I was like, that's actually really cool. And I didn't know certain things about there's some angels in it too that they explain certain things about them, and I'm like, oh, I actually didn't know that. That's very interesting. It's, as I said before, it is rated M too, so it's a little violent. It can get a little gory sometimes, and I think it also has, why am I looking at the back? There's nothing on the back. It also has some like suggestive themes and all that stuff. I think there might be some nudity in some of the demons, like butts and stuff like that. So if you're not a fan of the butt, you might not like this game. But if you do, I highly recommend getting it. It's always on sale on the 3DS eShop. Anything made by Atlas basically is always on sale at the eShop like every 2 weeks, which is not a bad thing, just kind of weird. So it's usually like 14 or 15 bucks. That's a pretty good deal. I got mine for like 7 at EB Games, and I was like, I paid more for the standard copy. That's crazy. Oh, I was so happy to find it. I can't even. I just can't even. So the next technically big box game, I'm kind of cheating with this one, is Pokemon Sun and Moon, the combo pack. I think I was 1 in 12 at my EV games that were able to get one. I felt very blessed, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. This is definitely the Pokemon game you want to start with if you've never played a Pokemon game before. Everyone always says, oh, start with X and Y, and I'm like, yeah, if you want to think Pokemon sucks, because X and Y is not very good, in my opinion, compared to like other ones. But that's just my opinion. This one is really good. It has a lot of like user-friendly interfaces and beginner stuff, which is really good. Even for me, like I thought some of the stuff, and I've been playing Pokemon for years, I thought some of the stuff they added to this was really, really good and very innovative. If you know what I'm talking about, which you might not, but there's a new type of thing in it where if you've encountered the Pokemon before and you have fought it, if you fight it again with any Pokemon that you have ever, it will tell you what moves are effective against it and what moves aren't. And that is so beneficial, especially because nowadays none of the Pokemon type A's make any sense. You'd be like, Fairy and Lightning, and I'm like, what? That makes no sense. I don't understand. Why is that a thing? And I was thoroughly impressed. I love this one. The story's really cool, surprisingly dark for a game that's rated everyone 10 up. Everyone 10 up with mild cartoon violence. I'm not going to spoil anything, but they really push that mild part, to say the least. But yeah, if you've never, as I said before, if you've never played a Pokemon game, this is definitely a really good one to start with. You might be a little bummed after you play this one to know that the other ones aren't as like nice looking or almost feel a little clunky compared to this one in terms of like as I said, like user interfaces and stuff like that, or that thing that I was explaining with the typing matchups and stuff. But I was really thankful I had it, because I'm like, I don't know what this Pokemon's typing is. I've seen it like once. How am I supposed to know what it is? I didn't fight with this one. That's kind of annoying. It does make you a little spoiled, but I was pretty thankful for it. All right, so that does it for my big box ones. I have a few other ones, but I would have been here for like 3 hours explaining what all of them were. So the next one that I have, these are just like random ones that I was like, yeah, I really like playing this one. It's really fun. The first one I'm going to show you is Super Mario Maker for the Nintendo 3DS, and I know like half of you are going to be like, wait, did you get that one, Risky? Yeah, that one sucks. It doesn't work as well as the Wii U one. Well, I don't really care that it works as well as the Wii U one. I like it because I don't play Super Mario Maker on my Wii U very often. I've been playing my 3DS a lot, and I'm like, well, I can play other levels in that one. And I think it came with like, how many was it? Like 100? I think it was like, it came with 100. Yeah, it comes with 100 preloaded levels on it that the Wii U one doesn't. And I'm like, that's like a whole Mario game, pretty much. Jeepers. And they're all really long ones too. It's not like those teeny tiny 10-second long levels you get in the Wii U one that you're like, start, finish. Oh, I did it. Good job. And I'm like, why? That's terrible. It's really fun. Especially if you are one of those people that's really creative. It's definitely a really good game to like just let your creative juices flow. I am not one of those people, unfortunately. I unlocked all the things that you could use in levels, and I was like, all right, I'm going to make a level. And I just sat there for like 15 minutes being like, this is a lot of pressure. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to make. And I'm really, really scared. And I almost made a song out of that, and I wasn't trying to, and I'm sorry. Same as the other ones I've been telling you about. This one also only plays in 2D, which, you know, is understandable because it's literally just they just ported it from the Wii U to the 3DS, and the Wii U doesn't have 3D capabilities, so it's not entirely surprising. But yeah, if you don't have a Wii U, then this is definitely there's literally nothing different between this one and the 3DS one, other than the fact that you can't, whenever you go online to play other people's levels, you can't technically just pick whatever level you want to play. Nintendo will give you a set list of recommended, that's a word, no. Recommended levels per day, per 24 hours, I believe, which a lot of people were complaining about because they're like, that's not fair, I want to be able to pick my own levels and follow people and stuff. And I'm like, well, it's a 3DS, you can't do everything that a Wii U can, unfortunately. It's not that amazing. But qualms and niggles aside, it is a really fun game. And as I said before, especially if you don't have a Wii U and you're like, oh man, that looks kind of fun, I kind of want to try it. There's not much different in it, to be fair. I think I've played this one a little more than the Wii U one, to be honest, so don't know if that counts for anything, but I think it does. So the next one I'm going to talk about is actually, I changed my mind about that, is Mario Party Star Rush. And this is obviously a Mario Party game. I don't know why I had to tell you that, you just looked at the box. And this one is, there's two different Mario Party games for the 3DS. The first one, it's a little clunky and it's a little slow, and it's not very good. I wish it was. Stockholm Syndrome is making me think it is, but it's not. I'm like, maybe it'll be better if I just keep at it or whatever, and every time I try it, I'm like, no, it still sucks. This one is really good, though. This one just came out last year, and I think like November or October, and it's really fun. They really changed up the formula in this one. I don't know if you can see it, right? I don't know if you can see the pictures there, but like right here, you can see that that's like the main board game mode, and it looks quite a bit different than what a normal Mario Party looks like, because it is completely different than what a normal Mario Party looks like. It's all kind of like grid-based and on the board, and whenever it's your turn, it's everybody's turn at the same time. So you all roll a dice at once, and then you all just move wherever you want in one go, and then once you're all done moving, then it's like the next turn. And I really liked that. It was a really good idea for the 3DS because it's very like fast-paced and you're just like go, 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 compared to the other one where it's like, okay, it's this person's turn, alright, they got this thing, and now they gotta play a minigame, alright, it's this person's turn, and it'd be like a half an hour later, it's finally your turn, and you're like, I got a 1. And then you gotta wait for everybody else to take the turn again. You're like, oh my gosh, just stop. Just stick a fork in me because I'm done. But this one, it fixes all of that, and it's really fun. You only need one game card to play with 4 people. I always say, like, anytime there's ever a game like that, that's really nice of them for them to do. They could have said you have all four players have to have a game card, but most of the time Nintendo is usually pretty nice with that sort of stuff. It's really good if you have a family or kids and stuff like that. It's pretty easy to play, which I really liked, and it makes it more fair for newcomers that are playing it. I find the other Mario parties, if you kind of know what to do, then it's not super difficult to win. This one kind of changes it up a little bit, and some people were kind of annoyed with that, and some people were like, yeah, that's a really good idea, because now like any kind of level of skill player can play this game and not feel like they're going to lose every time. But yeah, if you can ever find that, it's getting kind of hard to find, actually. I haven't seen it at EV Games since I got it, which is surprising. Nintendo's usually pretty good with that, but I highly recommend it. It's really entertaining. It's even fun to play by yourself. But yeah, that's like my one multiplayer game I'm going to show you today. All right. So the next one is a port slash kind of remake, demake of I almost said the name of the game, not the console it's for, of a Wii U game that's been out for a couple of years, and it's Hyrule Warriors Legends. And this is a remake of, or a demake if you want to call it that, of Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U. And this is definitely the definitive version of it, specifically because it has more characters, it has more story modes, new adventure modes and stuff like that. And it's a hack and slash game, so if none of you know what a hack and slash game is, you essentially just mow down hundreds of monsters by just pushing a bunch of buttons on your screen. For some people, it's kind of like a fighting game, because I know a lot of people that are just push the random colorful buttons and eventually you'll win. That's pretty much this game for the most part. It's kind of like a gamer's end game for me, which I mentioned in the last video. I have weird gamer's end games. And this is definitely one of them for me, where I can just play this for like hours and just be like, oh, la la, just like murdering millions of monsters. That's fine. I feel so happy right now. The only thing that's kind of disappointing about this one compared to the Wii U one is it doesn't have two-player co-op, which was kind of awesome in the Wii U one, in my opinion. I know a lot of people didn't like it because it made the frame rate kind of crappy, but I personally was very thankful at it, because I'm not super, super good at it. In some of the missions and stuff like that, it gets kind of hard. So I liked that you could have a second person in there that was like you could pick. Some of the missions you had to be a specific character for, and some of the characters I'm not really good with. But the second character always gets to pick whoever they want, so they can pick like someone that's terrifying and will just murder everything, and I can just go stand in the corner and be like, la 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 la, just waiting for you to kill everybody. That's fine. It's kind of hard to find physically. You'll probably have to download it. I got this one, I was really lucky, and I got this one used a few years ago. And I think it was like $25. It was pretty cheap, actually. It's really fun, though. If you like this one, then you'll probably like the other Warriors games. This is a crossover between Dynasty Warriors and The Legend of Zelda. Dynasty Warriors is like a hack and slash series. They have... I'm not joking when I say they probably have like 100 games in it, and they're just like this, where you like run around hack and slash and enemies and stuff like that, but they have different stories and different characters and everything. There's a Fire Emblem Dynasty Warriors game coming out soon. There's another one too, but I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, it's really fun. I highly recommend it if you like those sort of just like kind of easy to murder people games. That's not a very good sentence, but you get the point. Yeah, I really like it. Alright, this one's kind of a guilty pleasure game, because some people think it's not really a game and it's terrible, and they're entitled to their very wrong opinion. I'm just joking. And it's Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. I'm kind of ashamed to have this. I'm also slightly not ashamed to have this, because, oh my goodness, I've played so much of this that I'm pretty sure it's not normal how much I've actually played of this game. It's amazing. It's not really a game per se. It's kind of, if you've ever played Animal Crossing, you can design your own home and like put furniture in it and wallpaper and stuff on the walls and music and flooring, lights, all that stuff. And it's really neat and it's really fun. This is just kind of like a watered down slash upscaled version of it. Of the regular Animal Crossing. It's watered down because it's not like Animal Crossing where you can like go to town and like help people out and stuff like that. You can't do any of that. In this game, you work for the Happy Home... What is it called? I know what it is. I promise I know what I'm talking about. I think it's the Happy Room Academy or Happy Home Academy. I think it's Happy Home Academy. So your animal friends will come to your business and be like, I want a house that like is like super pink and cute and fluffy, or like I want a house that's like burly and like dark and emo and stuff like that. And you have to design their houses for the different people, or sometimes Isabel, which is like the mayor's assistant, or sometimes if you don't pay attention to your Animal Crossing game, is pretty much the mayor of your town. A lot of people know what I'm talking about, and it's hilarious. Kind of. It's also kind of sad. What was I saying? That's my train of thought. That's what I get for babbling. Oh, yes. She can come and ask you to help build, like, community buildings. So, like, she gets you to buy... I think she gets you to build a grocery store, hotel, concert hall, and stuff like that. You're probably thinking, like, well, I don't really see what the problem with this game is. The problem with this game or problem with this game is it literally does not matter what you put in people's houses. Like if they said, I want a pink and fluffy house, and you put in like a blue stool and like a pink wall, that's pretty much good enough. They give you like a prerequisite of things you need to put in it, and other than that, like you can just, if somebody said, I want a chair in the room, and you put a chair in their house and that's it, they'd be like, wow, it's so beautiful, I love it so much. And I'm like, why? You're gonna live on the chair? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So it doesn't, you can do whatever you want in the houses and the game doesn't care. It's completely fine. The way I play it though is not the way that they want you to though. I always go like full on like trading spaces on there. I'm like, all right, we're gonna put this over here, and this has like a nice color to it, so we're gonna put this on top of this rug over here, and I just go like crazy on it. I can be like in a house for hours just designing it, and some people are like done in 15 minutes, and I'm like, no, hour 3, and I'm still making this house over here. I really like it. It's cute. It was kind of expensive for what it is. It was like $45, so unless it's on sale, I probably wouldn't recommend buying it. I know a lot of people aren't going to like it, so I'm not trying to like sway your opinion on it or whatever, or suggest that you get it. If you like that sort of thing, then you are going to like it. But if you want something that's like Animal Crossing, you're going to be disappointed because it's absolutely nothing like Animal Crossing for the most part. Yeah. That's my only guilty pleasure I have in here, I promise. So the next one that I have is, oh no, I guess I do have another multiplayer game, is Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS. And this is a Nintendo crossover fighting game. As you can see, you can play as like a bajillion 7 characters from the Nintendo series. And it's amazing. I love it so much. I play it all the time. And I actually have to cut this video short because I have to go to work. So if anyone's watching this that works with me, this is one of the reasons why sometimes I'm late. Anyway, it's really fun. I always play as Peach. It's always hilarious whenever I play online and people are like, assume I'm terrible with her, and I just murder them every single time. It's so fun. And the other two, since I gotta make a quick dash here, I'm just gonna do these like point blank real fast, is Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King. Fantastic game, has amazing voice acting. They all have like they go just all over the globe for accents, and it's hilarious. And if you like old school RPGs, this is literally the one that you should play. You should have this if you have a 3DS. It's amazing. And the other one I have is a weird one that I'm not even going to go into too much. It's Puzzle and Dragon Z and Puzzle and Dragon the Super Mario Bros. Edition. It's basically just like a match 3 game with some RPG elements and Pokemon elements, where you have monsters that have different attributes, and whenever you match different orbs on your matrix, you builds up energy for each monster, and then they attack the monsters whenever your turn is done. And it's a really cool game. I recommend, if you're not sure if you want to play it or not, there's a free app that you can get on your phone, and it's just called Puzzle and Dragons. And it doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free for the most part. There's a few microtransactions, but you don't need them. And it's really, really fun. I would recommend trying that out instead of buying this and being like, oh, I don't really like it. It's completely free. It's pretty much the same thing. Not the Mario one, but like this one up here. This is just like standard JRPG anime style type of game. But yeah, that's going to be my video for today. Sorry I had to cut it short. But I figured, it's better than nothing, I guess. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down, freedom of speech. And if you want to leave a comment, that's great. I will make sure that I will read it as soon as I can. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. All right, have a great day.